So Rob, we're here at the new look Sandy Park. Can you tell us a bit more about this rebrand? What is it and how have the club's core values changed?
Well, probably our core values so much haven't changed because they weren't massively linked in a lot of ways to an individual type of branding outside of what at the time we wanted it to represent about the club, about it being family orientated, building that kind of tribal feel a little bit. So that part of it is very much alive. So all we've really done is link it to more local, traditional things around the area. So obviously, the badge now represents, a Celtic tribesman or a Celtic kind of member of what we feel would have been the local tribes here, kind of pre-Roman times. Really, it's a symbol, a little bit like the old Chiefs head was. But obviously, where the benefit for me is this is a bit of a new start for the club. Obviously, we probably had a little bit of a shaky year for us in some senses last year. And obviously the timing of a rebrand along with the timing of us talking a little bit about reinventing ourselves as a side after a period of quite a lot of success, they align quite nicely.
And you've been here for so long, you know this club inside out. How, given the change, what have you learned from the whole rebranding process?
Well, I think really that obviously it's very important to take the time listening to people and taking in everybody's opinions. I mean, I think it's interesting reading the media. I think a lot of the media reaction was that we weren't doing anything, when actually the timing of things meant that we couldn't make an immediate change anyway. But I think the feeling very much from the start was that we were going to look to make some positive changes in what the branding was going to be about. And I think once we made that decision, we moved pretty quickly and we've used it in a lot of positive ways. I mean, especially at the moment, all you'll really see is a little bit of the branding, and you'll see it around the buildings on certain things and on the clothing of the squad, etc. But you'll see over a longer period of time, more things change. The players are getting more and more involved in what they want to match their experience to be like and sound like. They're getting themselves involved in, well, what will it look like to be a team member in Exeter Chiefs 2.0, so to speak, the next Exeter Chiefs. And I think all of those things are really positive. I'm really pleased the way the players are embracing it. We're talking about some of the cultural things around being proud of the region and proud of what we do and how we want to act and how we want to appear as part of, as I say, a new Exeter Chiefs. And as I say, we're using the branding to create a little bit of a drive and a little bit of a focus for us. But it's the same with any sports team, anything that gives you one little bit of focus, you're going to grab hold of and you're going to use if you can.
As a leader of the group, Rob, how do you manage so many spinning plates in a time where there is so much change?
I think there's a few things to do. I mean, obviously we've got areas of responsibility. So, we've got leaders in all the main groups around S&C and medical, academy, what we're doing at the university. So very much, I don't have to micromanage on everything, and obviously I rely on those guys to do an awful lot of the planning. Obviously, Ali Heifer here as head coach does an awful lot of the planning around how sessions are going to run and how the week itself is going to run. So I'm very lucky that we've got a number of kind of leaders within the staff, and obviously we've got a number of leaders within the playing group as well. And in fact, really, I think it was some of the leaders in the playing group who really grabbed probably some of the fundamentals about what we wanted to really pull this year together to be about.
Would there be a piece of advice you would give to business leaders about what they can do in times of change, whether that's maybe a rebrand or moving into new markets perhaps?
Yeah, I think one thing that we've used and I think has been very important for us is we very much embraced it with the players right from the start. I think we had a lot of ideas as a coaching group about how the rebrand could be used to create certain bits of momentum, as I say, those strap lines, those little focal points. But I think what we also did was we involved the leadership group very early on, and then the whole group as a group of players as well, to give them some ownership of it. I think that's what I'm saying. I think if this rebrand is really going to work and it's going to become powerful for us as a team, I mean, the rebrand will work. It will be on the things that Exeter Chiefs do. But if we want to use it in a positive way for the actual playing group, I think how much ownership they can take of bits of it where they can use it to drive what they want to do, how they feel responsible for some of the elements. I think those can be some of the really powerful things.
And in one sense, are you looking forward now to getting on with the pre-season and utilising the feel-good factor around the change into a successful season for the club?
Yeah, well, we've already used it a fair bit already. So obviously some of the things, you know, in pre-season you split the group into teams and they compete against each other, and all the teams are very Celtic driven, as you can imagine, and some of the themes around some of the little celebrations they've been doing, and I think they're having some real fun with some of them, and some of them are things that, you know, they'll slowly formulate over the course of the season.
Thanks for your time, Rob.
No, you're welcome.